Hello, everyone. So we are going to start the episode 3 of season 3 Annual Python. So finally, we are ready to start the Python programming. So today we are going to start with two Python programming. So I believe that you guys can follow me. Then it is a good start to know about what is a Python and what is a Python programming. So before we start, as usual, you can do the stretchy. We have a lot of things to do today, and however, you don't have to be stressful. So just it's not study, it's not the course or a lecture. Just the follow me. Then while you are typing and while you are doing something, then eventually you learn what is the Python, what is the Python programming. So, but knowing Python is not very important. So I believe the several years later, so Python will not be used. Maybe new program languages. So more importantly, the what I'm the expecting from the annual Python is if you know about the computer more, that will be the much more important. Okay, so let me quickly check whether our TAs are here. So Irvin, I cannot see it. Unji is here, but today Trinity is here. So please, if you have any question during the lecture, please use the chat box. Then Trinity, she will help you if you are behind or if you can follow me. So today, so I'm going to start with something review of the last class. So let me share with so why don't you start first the PyCharm? So like this one. So I'm going to share my slide. So, okay, so here is the desktop. So I think that you guys can see me. So you can download today's file. So which is anyone Python S03 the E03.c file as user. Then you can download the file. Then in my case, I create the anyone Python folder. This one. This is my working folder throughout the season 3. So for example, here I download the file over here. So it's anyone Python ES3 and the E03.c file. If you double click or if you right click, then extract the file, then you will have the folder like this. However, you don't have to open this one, just close it. Okay, and you can open the PyCharm welcome window like that. And as a user, you can click the open. Please, if you are not ready, why don't you start the PyCharm first? Okay, you don't have to watch me, just doing something. Okay, it is a good idea if you open the PyCharm as well as the Zoom window. That is the best setup for your the screen. So you can click the desktop. Under the desktop, you can click your working folder, anyone Python folder. Then click the extracted file, the anyone Python S03 and E03. Okay, so please click this folder, not this file. Okay, only the anyone Python S03 E03 folder. Then click open it. I already did. So if you click this one, then you will see the PyCharm window. Okay. Then last time we are going to quickly review the last class. So last class we did a lot, really a lot. So regarding to the command line. So why don't you open your terminal? If you are using the MacBook, so it's like the my setup. So your terminal will be like this one. However, if we are using the Windows, the last time that we set up the PowerShell. So let me print out that. So last time that we set up the PowerShell as the terminal program. Okay, .exe. So if you didn't do that, it's not a big problem for today's lecture. So you can just watch the episode 2, then set up the terminal. The terminal is here's the terminal program as the PowerShell. If we are using Mac, so don't worry. So you can just leave it and follow me. Okay. However, if you didn't complete the last episode, it's okay for today's the lecture, the episode 3. But after this lecture, why don't you watch the previous one? Then set up the PowerShell as the terminal. Then okay, so then we will quickly check what we have done the last time. So you guys can use the command on the terminal. Like if you do not know where you are, you can type the pwd. Then it shows where you are. You can see that under the desktop, there's anyone Python S03-E03. You remember that? I show you my family, the tree book. So as the family tree book use the tree from my ancestor and their child, finally, it's me, like that. It's the tree structure. So computer use such a tree structure to manage how many files? Do you remember how many files you have before? How many files? Anyone remember how many files you have on your computer? Yes, it's a 300, 400, 1,000. It's a huge, almost 500,000 file. Okay, then to manage such a huge number of file, so we are going to use what? The tree structure. So this one shows our tree structure. Root. Root is the first. It's the top. Okay, my first ancestor. Under the root, the users folder. So we are using the name of folder, or sometimes what is the different name of the folder? You remember what is the different name of folder? Directory, very nice. The Eden, very nice. So directory, yes, good. The Ryan, very good. So it's a directory. Under the user directory, there's another directory. Sometimes it's called the subdirectory. So subdirectory, and under the JELE, we have desktop. Desktop is like this way, this one. And that you can see from the graphical user interface, on your screen, that is a desktop. Under the desktop, so I create the Anyone Python folder. Under the Anyone Python folder, I download and unzip the Anyone Python S03-E03. So from now on, every the episode, so I send the file, zip file, and download the file where? So Anyone Python folder. Then unzip. Then create the PyCharm use the project, but it's the same as the directory. Okay, it's the same as the directory. You don't have to worry about the different name. So if you delete the file over here, the file will be deleted over here. Okay, so this one, the Anyone Python S03, as you can see, it's exactly same thing. This one and this one is exactly same, the file and the folder. So if you create a new file over here, and the new file will be added. Like the new, if you create a new folder over here, and this one will have the new folder like that. Okay. Click. Yes, you can see the untitled the folder that I create. If you delete the file here, then this folder will be deleted like that. This one is identical, but use the different name. So let's check the delete over here. So if you delete this one, it's a permanent delete. You can see it's deleted over here. So don't worry about too much. So how do I create the PyCharm project? How do I create manage the Py? It's the same as your folder. Okay, so that's what we learned. And there are several other commands. So quick question. What is a command that if you want to see the files in your current directory, yes, ls already. Yes, you can see the file. This is a little bit more difficult question. If you want to see the details, more details of the file information, how can I type? You remember? ls, ls, yes. So the remember that the ls, one space, then the hyphen. Hyphen is always the option. So A option means what? A option, as I said many times, the computer programmer, they are not very smart. Just name it. Oh, yes. So A means or. What about the L? L means long. Yes. So you can see the more details information. Very nice. So why don't we give the class emoticon so to the Hyunmin? So very nice. Okay. There are many other commands like if you want to move, change the directory, you can use the cd command. You can create the folder like the mkdir a test. If you want to create the folder here, mkdir and ls, then you can see the test. What happened over here? What do you think? If I create the folder over here, can I see the test over here? Yes or no? I create the test. Can I see the test over here? Yes or no? What do you think? Just click it and you can type it. You can see the test over here. Okay. So this one, let me use this one terminal and this part and also this the folder are the identical. It's the same, exactly same thing. Okay. So you don't have to. If you want to use if you do not know much about the terminal, don't worry. So you can do the same thing using the folder or this one. However, what is the benefit of using such a terminal command line? So who can answer? So what is the benefit? Why the Professor Lee keep asking or keep showing the command line? Yes, it's a faster. And any other? So why do we use? It's more efficient. Yes, correct. Very nice. And easier. Yes, that's the Samuel. As Samuel said, if you can use such a command, it's much easier later. And Maria also suggest easier. So 10 times quicker. And also more importantly, why do we use the command line? Anyone? It's a type command. It's a cool. Okay. It looks like a professional. Okay, so that is another reason, but I believe that is important reason to use the command line. But if you do not know how to use the command line, don't worry. You don't have to worry about too much. Whenever you feel need to use, you can search the Google or you can just watch the video, then your skill will be better and better. Okay, very nice. Very good. So today, I'd like to, yes, as Samuel said, it's like the hacker, but to be hacker, so you should study more. So let's back to today's problem. So today, we are going to see several very important things to start the Python programming. So we are going to start the Python programming. So here is the first problem that we are going to do. So first problem of the Python program. So we are going to start the Python program language with the first problem. First problem is the hello world. So we are going to print the hello world on the screen like this one. Okay, so why this one is important? And whenever you start to learn any program language, pretty much you will start with this hello world, the programming. So hello world programming was introduced by the long time ago. It's probably 30, 40 years ago. It's inspired by the, as you can see over here, the first program in the Brian and the Dennis. Their classic, even I have it. So if I in my at my office right now, I'm not going to the office, so stay the home and teaching the courses, the online. But if I were in the my office, I can show the classical the programming book. It's a C programming language. So in this C program language, they introduced the Hello World program to print out the Hello World. So we are going to start such a Hello World the program. So to do that, if you really start, how many of you the so please give me the thumbs up if you never used the Python before. This is the really first program that you are going to. So this is today is the first day to run the Python program. Please give me thumbs up. Okay, the Brandon is the first day, and Nicholas is the first day, and Samuel is the first day. So it's a really good day for you. So you debut on the programming Python program language. So let's start the how to run the first program. So before we run the first program, so do you remember the last part of the episode 2? I introduced kind of Python style. Okay, this is not required, but most of people who use the Python follow this way. So several things. Throughout the season, I'm going to introduce more and more such as the programming style and Python style. First thing, don't forget to put your command. So command. How can we create what is a command, by the way? Anyone? So you can write on your chat box. What is the command? What is the command? Okay, so Eden said a thing that you tell the computer, instruction for computer to follow. So anyone else? Very good answer. But the command is the for computer or me. So my question is, this command is for me or is for computer? It's for human, right? So it's a description. This program is a blah 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 blah. So what you need to do first thing is please create the quotation mark, 3 quotation mark. Then add your command here. So this is my first the Python program. Okay. On January, today is the 28th, 2021. So why don't you create the command like this? Okay. Right now, why don't you add? This is kind of a habit. Whenever you edit or whenever you create your program, please add the command. Okay. I said the 29. Oh, sorry. So it's the 29. Thank you for your correction, Daniel. Then, did you do that? Then, there's another way to add a Python, the command. What is the second, an alternative way to add a command? Do you remember? You can use, yes, hashtag. So hashtag, why don't you add one more line just above the main function? This is my first function. Okay. By the J Lee like that. You don't have to put the end. So just the starting of the command, you can put the hashtag. Okay. So then we are ready. Then there are three parts of the programming, Python programming. So first is the header part. But right now, we do not use the header part. Header part usually has like this one, import. So if we are going to use the existing Python program, other guys already create something, we are going to import this. Maybe next episode, we are going to use. So forget about this. There's no header part. So second part is this. This is a starting function. Okay. So you don't have to worry about the meaning of this. Just start the main. So what is the main? Don't worry. We will discuss a lot later. So main is, you can find the main. So going to the here. So your code, your program will start here. Your program. Okay. So basically, when you complete this hello world.py, the program, then this will be run from main. So main is here. So this part will be the run executed. So in other words, you need to put the Python code in here. Okay. So then one more important thing. Last time Python star. So what is the name of this one? Symbol like this. What is this? What is this? Yes. It's a semicolon or a colon. It's a colon. Every time I confuse even. But anyway, this is not this one. It's a dot. The two dot in one. So I think that is the next to the L and the shift with the shift, not this one. Okay. Then what's the meaning of the colon? We are expecting code block. Yes, code block is here. Then the last question is, how can we show the code block in Python? This is the most important part. Code block. Yes, James is correct. It's an indentation. Let me erase all of this. It's messed up, so I'm going to erase everything. Then go back to here. So you can check how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 space. Always 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what if it's not the match like this one? It should be, it will be error. Okay, so always 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so always the aligned indentation. That is if the line, this one, command are aligned, which means the same code block, means it's the same group. Okay, it's the same group of the command. 4 space and 1 tab. Yes, right. Okay, let's start. So first you guys need to do is the pass is not needed. So you need to just delete the pass. We don't need the pass. So as you can see, there is a command like enter your code here. Don't forget to remove the pass. So even we don't need this one, you can delete. Okay, you can delete this and delete the pass. Why don't you delete the pass and delete it? So here, so question of today's problem is the print hello world. So how can we print? Do you know how to print? We don't know. But Python program already provide a very, very nice function, which is the print. So it is the PRINT print function. Then there is the function should have always left and right parentheses. So remember, function should have left and right parentheses. Then if you want to print something, so you can give the double quotation, then you can give the something inside. Hello world, like this. That's it. It's a very easy. So why don't we start to type our first the command Python program print like this, left and right parentheses and double quotation. The one of the benefit of using PyCharm is PyCharm. No, there is a left, then there should be right. So automatically add left and right, even though you type the only left. And double quotation is the same thing. If double quotation is started, should be end. So you can just type here, hello, the world. Okay, so that's it. Why don't you type and edit your hello world.py file. If you do not know how to open this one, so always check this. You can, after you start the project, always check the project, then you can see the navigation bar, Explorer menu. Explorer menu, you can double click the hello world.py file, hello world. And this will be open and modify. Okay. Then next thing is we are done, but we need to check whether our first program is running. So click the terminal, bottom terminal. Okay, there is the terminal on the bottom. This one, always click the terminal. Okay, then click. So here you can type py Python 3. So if you are using Windows, just type Python, as I mentioned many times. If you are using MacBook, Python 3, then HELL. Here's the question. Do I need to type everything? Is there any the fast way to type the command? No? No? How? Okay. Yes, you can type the 1 or 2, then 3, then type the tab key. Then it's the automatically fill rest of them. It's the autofill function. Okay, that is another benefit of using command line. So one more time. So I'm very lazy, so I don't want to type everything. Instead, you can just tab. Can you hear the sound? I click the tab key, then it's automatically filled. Then you can enter. Then if you can see the hello world, like this one, hello world, you are good. You success, you're the first Python program. Okay. So if you are using the Windows, what is the command? Windows py or Python. Okay. Python. So the other, so if you cannot find the Python, it's probably if you are using Windows, when you install the Python, you do not check the path. Why don't you watch the previous video and install it again? Okay, so let's see how many of them can follow me. So if you run the first program successfully, please give me thumbs up. Okay, please give me thumbs up. Yes, Brandon, congratulations. The Mingang, very nice. And who else? Then the Katie did. And who else? The Jeremiah, so very nice. So who else? So Jonathan, James. So if you are done, please give me thumbs up. Then Ian, very nice. And this is the really first program. If you can do this, then you can do a lot of things. Okay. I will give the couple of more minutes, 1 more minute to follow me. Those who very, very slow to type, I will wait for you. This is the first one, so I'd like to wait. So let me show you again. How can we do that? So first, probably you have the here the pass. Okay, please delete the pass always. Whenever I give you the programming code, delete the pass. Here is the position. Here is the line where you are going to start your programming. So just type the print and left parenthesis and then quotation mark. Then you can type hello world. Okay. Once you are done, then click the terminal. Bottom, you can see the terminal. Then it's the cursor is blinking. Then type Python 3 hello world.py. Then enter. Then it's a hello world is done. Okay. If you are done, why don't you add more? So if you want to print the love, dad, and mom like this. And print this is my first Python program. Like this. Then run it. Then it works. So why don't you add the more line that you want? Okay, so I'm going to wait. Please add the more. I do not explain the details of the syntax here. Just follow me. That is the way of the Anyone Python. Okay. I don't want to spend a lot of time to discuss and explain the details of each command. Just the without any the just print, just print. Okay, that's it. Okay, don't worry about too much the what is the parameter, what is the this one, just the type, and if you run, that's okay. Okay, so let me check again. How many of you run your first program? Please give me thumbs up again. Okay, let me see the one more time. The very nice. I can see the Edan also. Yes, very nice. If you can run your program, please give me thumbs up. Hey, the Brandon. Oh yeah, I already did. Ryan did, and Maria did, and very nice. Okay, let's move on the next. So this is our the first Python program that we did. So before we move on the second program, so I'd like to introduce the brand new idea of the Anyone Python. So our friend. So this is called the Anyone Python screen. Okay. So please stop everything. Okay. Whether or not you run the program, it's okay. So you guys can follow the probably it's not your problem, it's the installation or other problems. So don't worry too much. You guys can solve the problem. So just stop the programming, then take a look at this one. From now on, throughout the season, I'm going to use a lot of this Anyone Python script. Okay, so let me increase this one. So it's a kind of the desktop, but whatever. But the Anyone Python screen is our place to learn the Python code. So there are three parts. One is the left-hand side. Left-hand side is the place where you are going to see the code, the Python code, left-hand side. Okay, this is I think the general, the way the most of the textbook, most of the YouTube video, most of them, they put the code on their the page or whatever. It's the same thing. So you can see the code. However, our annual Python screen is different from them. So we have another part. Right hand side is the main memory. Do you remember what is the main memory? What is the memory? The first class I show you the something. What? Do you remember that this? Let me. So rectangular. What is a rectangular? This is the computer. Inside the computer, there are three main components. What are they? First, the CPU, and second is the memory. So memory is the storage. Okay, it's the main storage where we keep the what? We keep files. We cannot keep the files exactly. So what do we keep on the memory? Directory? Directory is in the file system, right? Folder? Memory has the data. Okay? So computer, CPU can access the data from memory only. So memory is the only place that from which the computer CPU can access to get a data. Okay, so which means memory is the most important part after the CPU processor. So think about my computer is slow, so you complain. So and why your computer is slow? I need a bigger size of memory. So my memory is full because memory is the storage to keep your data. So it is very, very important when you learn the programming, know about the how your computer is using, how does your program use your main memory. Okay, so I'm going to show your program, our programming code with the memory every time. Okay, so right hand side the box means the memory. Then this memory has the data like the variable and later function. I mentioned the function many times, but you don't know exactly what function is, so we will see later episode. So, but today I'm going to introduce this variable. Then there's a third part, so display. So like this one, console. So we can display over here. So this is the display console. So I'm going to use the screen a lot. So if you want to see your code that you want to type Python code, you can check this part. If you want to see how does the data is stored or the process and change it, you can see the right hand side. Okay. Then if you want to see the output, how after you run the code, then you can check the display part. So three main parts. So one is the code, second data. Always you can see it together. Okay, and also sometimes I cannot show everything. You can imagine in your mind. My data is will be here, and this one is a process, and this one is log. So why don't you keep your memory? If you don't understand what is the anyone Python screen, do you know where it is? Anyone who can guess? What is this one? Where it is? This is it. So right here, yes, right now it's not actually my room. It's my daughter's room, but my daughter is not here. The semester begins, so This is the right here. So my room. So I think that it's the same. It's not too many laptops. It's just the two. And this one is the just the Windows for those who are using the Windows. So I'm using the this. So, but you can see the anyone Python screen is the same as the my room and your room. Okay, just imagine your room, your desk. So where do you work? Your code is here. Your desktop. Okay, your desk is your working area. So you process everything, but you don't have everything on your desk. Where can you find your information if you need? Then I turn around and bring the book like this one. Okay, it's a bookshelf. Not I'm not putting the book on the desk because it's small, so I cannot do my work. So I can find the data from my bookshelf. So my bookshelf, see here. So this bookshelf is the same as what? This one is the same as my main memory. Yes, so main memory. So think about, depending on how to organize my bookshelves, sometimes easy to find the book. Sometimes I cannot find the book because it's all messed up. Same thing, you're programming. Depending on how to organize the data, how to process the data, your program is so fast. Also, if you do not organize, if your program is not well organized, your program is slow or error. So memory is the most important part to understand the programming. Okay, so you can work over your type of code, but your data will be here. Sometimes if too the small, I can put back the data on my bookshelf. So it's like this. So your code should be on your desk. Okay, then your data will be stored and processed on the memory like this. Then the final output will be displayed on the console like here. Okay, keep in mind, even though I do not show the Python screen, any on Python screen, always the imagine that this the anyone Python screen. Okay, so this is my analogy. So throughout the season, I'm going to use the sometime desk. Desk means you're the code. So where do you put your code? PyCharm. We are going to use the PyCharm desk. Okay. So we are going to use the PyCharm desk. And where is the main memory? Main memory is what? Our bookshelves. Okay. So this bookshelf has the variable. So today I'm going to introduce. Also, it has function. So for example, we already used the function like the print, right? So print function is somewhere on the bookshelf. It's a default function. Even though you do not check, but when you start the Python, so it's a default book. It's already there, okay? Then your output will be displayed and like this, the terminal, using the terminal. So keep in mind this analogy, okay? So next class, this is I don't like to give the homework, but the next time, before we start the episode 4, so I'm going to ask so this analogy, okay? This is your homework. And also, functions sometimes called the black box. This one, variable is called the box, okay? Where we are going to put the data. Like for example, if you take a look at I'm not sure whether you can see it. There are a bunch of boxes here. So this is the box to keep the data. So inside there are data some. So this is the variable. And also, sometimes we have the kind of black box. So like this one, I do not know what that is inside, but there is something input, there is something output, something going on. It's a black box. So I'm going to use this analogy for your better understanding. So don't be confused. If I just say we are going to create a black box. What is a black box? So you should not ask me. Okay. So this is our analogy. Okay, to remember. So box, small box, or the big box. The box is the variable to keep the where we are going to put the variable. Black box is the something operating, doing something, but you don't know what's going on. But there's the input and there is the output. It's a black box. So this is an example of the how to use the anyone Python script. So you don't have to worry about the code right now, but we are going to the type, like the main function is like this one, and this is a max function and input and so on. So this is a coding part, our desk. Then in the memory, same time, it will be happen. For example, the red box means it's currently the Python process return. What happened in the memory? In the memory, so 5 will be returned back to the main. Okay. Then it will be next line is the print larger. So 5 will be printed on the console like that this way. I'm going to explain. Okay. So you don't have to worry about this code. This is just the example. Okay. But in this way, we are going to learn the Python program. So remember, so this is the anyone Python script. Can I find this information from the internet or the others? No, this is the really first time to introduce. You are the first one to use the anyone Python script. Okay, so this I believe that this is the better way for you guys to understand how computer process the data. Okay, so next problem is add two number. So here's the problem. So our problem is the problem is that add the two number. How? So you are going to ask the first number to the user, then the user type it, and then ask the second number and type it. So for example, here you can see that this program add the two number, print and enter first number, and enter second number. Then finally you can print the sum like that this way. So this is the second problem. So first we're gonna try our best. So even though Professor Lee doesn't introduce anything, but let me give just a hint. So one thing you guys can use is the obviously print. You can print a lot, the print function. Also, second thing is you can get the input as the number and receive the number using input function. So you can use the input function. So you can type something here, quotation mark, the enter first number, enter second number like that. Then this will be the input of the user. Then finally you can print. And then there is one other the function you can use integer function. You can make the integer number. So using these three, we are going to start. So why don't you open the L2number.py? L2number.py. So already as a user, you can add this is the function to add the two numbers. So why don't you create your command? We don't need this part. Okay. So we are going to delete this. Then print this program as a two number. It's already did. I already did this part. So here is the hint. So as the first number here. As the first number, how can we do that? So we are going to use the input. So why don't you type the input, then the ask, the enter first number. Okay. The problem is, so we can ask the input, but please bring the number. Then you need to store the number somewhere. Okay. What do we need? We need to create the what? Using analogy. After we receive the number, where do we keep? We need to use this one. Keep the number here, small box. So we need to create a box. So box should have the name. Okay, so let's use the first number. So first underscore number. Okay, first underscore number. Please type the command, then run the program so far. Python 3. So this is add to number. You don't have to type everything, just add, then the tab. And enter. Interesting. So enter first number. It's a blink. What does the blinking means here? Blinking means computer is waiting for your input. So you can type, yes, the correct Ian. So you can type the 9 and enter. That's it. So you are able to put the number. So then we need the second number. Second number. Like the same thing. Input, enter, second number. So it is good idea. You can see the something blinking right after that. So why don't we give the like this space? Then it will be much the better. Okay. Then you can run the program. Why don't you run the program like this? So enter first number 9. Enter second number 17. Yes, so far so good. So we can enter the 2 number so far. Okay. So we create a 2 box. So 2 box. Okay. So then the next thing is we are going to add the 2 number. Total is the first number. Okay. Plus second number. It looks good. So you can just add the total is first number plus second number. Okay. Then run the program. So first number 9, second number 17. What happened? There's nothing because we need to print. Okay. So we need to print. I already provide the print. The total is the total. Okay. So why don't we run the program again? 9 and 17. Then the total is 9, 1, 10. So what happened? What happened? Anyone who can explain what happened here? Not adding. Actually, computer add. Add what? Put number next to each other, right? Because when Python receive the input, input value is not number. It's just a character, which is called a string in Python, but it's just a character. Alphabet, A, B, C, like that. So it's not number 9. Instead, it's just the character 9. So when you add the 9 plus, so 9 plus 17 means just concatenate the character. So it print what? 917 character. Okay, so that's not what we want. We need to change it. The first number as the integer. At that time, we can use the integer function here. So how can we do that? First, number is integer and first number. So first number going to here. Then it is changed to the integer. Then first number will be integer. Okay. Same thing. Second number is the integer second number like this. Then first number is an integer and the second number integer, and the 9 plus 17 will be 26 total. So then it will be printed. So let's run the program. Okay. So first number 9, second number 17. Oops. Then the total is 26. Okay, so I'm going to wait the 1 more minute to finish your code. So please give me thumbs up if you can get the output add. Okay. Yes. The Abdul did, Ian did, and Eden did. Please type and try to get the result. Nick did, and James did, and please type and this one. You don't have to worry about the syntax. I'm going to explain the details of the print function, input function, integer function later. But today it's just the first. So don't worry about the details. Okay. Okay, very nice. So let's back to the here. So let's take a look at the memory, the N1 Python screen together. So when we run the print, just the print, then when you get the first, we are going to create the first, the small box variable. Okay. Then input is always a string. That is the reason it's double quotation. So double quotation is the character. So we need to change the first number as the 9, the integer. Right now it is changed, no quotation mark, which means it's the number. Same thing for the second number. So we can receive the second number, then another box is created on the memory. Then when you put the integer function, we don't know what is the integer inside, but the integer is the function black box to change the string into the integer. So second number is the 17. Then the total is the 7 plus 9 plus the 17. So 26 will be stored at the total. So 3 variables, 3 boxes are created. So total is 26, like this one. Okay, so here, so I'm going to explain the more details, the input later and the print later. Okay, then here is the most important part of the today's. We have only 1 minute. Let me borrow the 10 more minutes. So this is the most important part. So what is a variable? I think that in Chinese it's called the bian shu. So I'm not very good at Chinese, but I learned from the Chinese student before. So it's a bian shu or the variable. So variable is the storage to keep the information or data. Okay. So variable is like the box on your bookshelf, like this one. It has the storage like here. So there's the data. I put the data inside. Okay. It's a box to keep the data inside. This variable has the name. So when you create the variable, it's like the name tag. Name is attached. It's the tagging. It's a name tag on the box, in the variable, in the memory. So using memory, using the name, you can find the box. So like this one. So if you want to get the number of a student, then find this box. Then you can open it. There is the data like this. Okay. Then one more important thing is each box has a type. we already run the integer number and also string. It's a character. So when you create the variable, Python automatically decide the type. Like this one is the integer. Okay, integer is the text. Like this. This afternoon I created this one. Voila. So I spent a lot of time to make this. So one more time, I'm going to explain. So when you create the variable, so you put the 700 value inside the box. Okay. Then with the name tag. So each box has the name like this one. Then Python decide the data type. So then integer is attached. Then using the tag, you can find the box. Then you can open the box to get the value, the data. So this is a variable. This is a box in our Anyone Python screen using analogy. So whenever you create the variable, happens same thing. So in this case, the x is the variable name. And this is the box 10. And type is integer like this one. Then problem is how to create. We already learned here. So we are going to use the equal sign in math. However, equal does not mean the equal in Python program. Instead, it's the assignment, assign. So, for example, x equal to 10 means in Python, 10 value will be assigned to x. So, for example, if you assign the 700 to this box, then num underscore student equal to 700. Then 700 value will be assigned to where? The variable box. Then you keep the data and you are able to access this data. So this is the variable and this is assigned. Don't be confused. The equal sign is not equal. We will learn what is equal in Python later. Equal means it's a assign, put. Some of the languages use the arrow instead of the assign, the equal sign. But Python use just the equal assign. So using equal sign, you can create the value. Like the x equal to 5 means 5 will be assigned to the x box. Okay, like that. And what about the 5 plus 7? If you assign the 5 plus 7, what is the 5 plus 7? It's a 12. So 12 will be assigned. Type is integer. So this is called the assignment. So even though we are using equal sign in math, it's not the equality. It's the assignment. So by assigning, we are able to create the variable. Okay, this is the most important part of the today's. Then, what will be the name? So, is there any naming rule? Yes, there is. Very strict. You need to follow, but it's not very complicated. So, variable name. So, box name is always started with a letter or underscore. We already see over here. This is a variable underscore, and all the other is to start with the letter. Can I use the number? Yes, you can use the number like here. However, you cannot use the number at the beginning. Okay, so always the number is the second or later. So you can use the letter, but not the first letter. And also, variable is the case sensitive. Large uppercase is different from the lowercase. Be careful. Then this is a Python style. So Python loves the snake case. So what is a snake case? Like when you create a variable, it's not A or B, C, it's not recommended. We don't know meaning of the variable. Instead, number student, we can guess meaning of this variable as the number of students. At that time, instead of the space. We cannot use the space. Space is not allowed. So instead, we can use the underscore. Then we can easily understand the num underscore student means it's number of students. This is called the snake case because we can put more student in underscore school like this one. So this is the called the snake case style variable. So Python love this way, not required, but we love. So in this, the anyone Python, so we are going to use the snake case. So using box analogy, so this is the box. Then we can put the value inside, as we have seen, the value inside, and name will be tagged, and the data type will be attached. Where is it? This is the also most important, RAM. So our bookshelf has such a box and the variable. Then how can you find the variable? Using name always. Okay, then this is the box analogy. Then for the number, we have another type of number like the real number. If we have the decimal, it's called the float. Otherwise, whole number is the integer, like this. Okay, that's it. So this is a summary. The wrap up of the today's lesson is very important to start the next step. So we can print using the print function. Okay, then we can get the input from a user, but input should be always the string. And but we cannot add or minus or delete either. We cannot use the operation, so we need to change the type into integer using int function. Okay, then assign to the variable. This is all assigned. Okay, it's assigned. Okay, then second number is the same thing. So we can see the second num is created with the first string, but after integer, you can see that it will be changed as the number integer. Okay, then finally total will be created, total 3 box, and then we can add. Finally, if we print, the total is 26 like the printed. Okay, so I'm going to give the more information about the print and each function later, probably the episode 5 or 6 that we will see. Okay, so this is the today's lesson. So we learned the variable and the first program using the two programs. So please practice if you cannot follow me during the Anyone Python episode. Otherwise, so keep in mind, just remind what we discussed so far today. So this is a very basic but very important concept to proceed the next step. Thanks so much for your attending, and good night, and be safe, and have a great weekend. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.